This is stupid cops arrest FBI agent. That is crazy. Imagine you being a cop that did that. Like, that could literally make you lose your job over. I mean, I was gonna say a little deal, but it's not really a little deal. It's kind of a big deal.
Arresting innocent teenagers and taking the
it's
former
like a
president of the
compilation.
United States to the court. Cops sometimes shock the public through their actions.
Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the bits.
Never talk back, never do these things to the police.
Yo, he looks like vexed. That's
that was
crazy.
Because of what they do to people like me. So
people like you?
Or black teenagers.
Being responsible for the safety of the citizens, the police department is given
Wait,
a
was that
wide
kid
number
choking?
of powers that other.
What was that? Was it a kid choking?
People like me. So
people like you?
Or black teenagers.
Being responsible
He is.
for the safety of the citizens.
How does someone have enough time to call 911? I never understood that. How does someone have enough time to call 911 and then for them to actually make it there on time? Is it a good movie?
The police department is given a wide number of powers that other law enforcement agencies are not.
I always thought about being a cop, and then I was like, fuck no, after the whole...
But this doesn't mean that they don't get in trouble. In today's video, we're going to see times when cops run into FBI. Number 1,
Okay.
A Florida deputy arrested an FBI agent mistakenly. Officer Gordon was shocked after he got a call from an individual claiming to be an FBI agent. The person claiming to be a federal agent asked the officer for a meeting at a nearby parking lot. As soon as Officer Gordon got to the meeting point, he was asked to turn off his body cam.
Okay. Got that on body cam? I do, but I don't understand what the problem is with your meeting me at the office. I'll talk to the U.S. Attorney's Office about it. You can cut off the recording device now.
He looks...
Okay. Well, I will when I leave the area.
Wait, so he showed him his actual card and he didn't believe him? And he didn't even believe him that he has a little walkie-talkie? Come on, anyone that has a walkie-talkie in their car for no reason is either crazy or an undercover cop or an FBI agent. And clearly he didn't get any of
This
those.
would ring a bell for any police officer on the duty. Denying his request, Gordon asked him to disclose his identity.
But that's also weird that he asked him to turn off his body cam. They're not allowed to turn off their body cam, I'm pretty sure.
Well, the man was not joking around. As it turned out, the man claiming to be a federal agent was in truth a special FBI agent named Alexis Hatton. Alexis was part of a big operation investigating the conduct of law enforcement organizations in North Florida.
Oh my god, how fucking ironic is that? How fucking
ironic. There have been plenty of corruption cases ranging from taking bribes from criminals to arresting innocent citizens. Despite there had been plenty of corruption cases ranging from taking bribes from criminals to arresting innocent citizens. Despite Agent Hatton showing the officer his FBI badge, Gordon kept asking him how he got his number. Answering Officer Gordon's questions, Agent Hatton informed him that Officer Gordon was the subject of an FBI investigation along with his whole police department. Still not believing whether Agent Hatton was really an FBI agent, Officer Gordon decided to call a backup and handcuffed Hatton. Not only that, he even closed the door of the car, which resulted in Agent Hatton's condition becoming worse. Regardless of the result of the FBI's investigation,
why is this going downhill?
Turned into a disaster for Hatton. Given the hot day in Florida, it was only natural that Agent Hatton's health condition gets worse.
I can't breathe. Sir, I can't open the door. You're being detained right now.
Finally, an end was put.
But I mean, he does kind of low-key have a point, but he actually do got a point. Like, I guess he could open a window. Actually, never mind. He doesn't have a point. He could open a window.
The Florida Police Department reconciled, and Officer Gordon was informed that Hatton was in fact a real FBI special agent.
Wow.
Captain Webb just called. Who verified? Captain Webb. I don't know. 33 to 5. Could you advise me who verified that this person was
and not someone impersonating an agent? Hearing that Officer Gordon released Hatton
and he actually went to the hospital?
To make sure that no other agent or cop gets into a similar situation, the sheriff's office and the FBI had a meeting where both decided to maintain reasonable transparency in future operations. Number 2, FBI arrested a former police detective for sexually abusing black women. As the FBI opened an investigation into the conduct of the Kansas Police Department in September 2022, they uncovered a long-forgotten case of a police detective, Roger Golubski. As it turned out, during his 35-year-long reign of terror, the former police officer had made the lives of black residents a living hell.
I don't understand that. I mean,
God damn.
You know, how does a person get away with that for over 20 years?
Golubski was accused of sexually assaulting 2 women between 1998 and 2002. Not only that, but he was also known for exchanging drugs in return for acquiring information. After Golubski's case was brought to court, a federal grand jury indicted him with 6 counts of sexually assaulting 2 black women, to which Golubski pleaded not guilty.
Roger Golubski's court-appointed attorney entered a not guilty plea on his behalf.
But no matter what he said, the FBI was just not willing to let him go away that easily. He was presented in court on September 15, 2022, where his attorney requested that since Golubski was suffering from serious health issues and had undergone quintuple heart surgery, he should not be kept detained. Given Golubski's crimes, the jury rejected the attorney's request while assuring that Golubski would be provided regular health checkups. As Roger Golubski's case progressed, a lot of his crimes were uncovered. During his police career, Golubski had wrongfully testified against a young black man named Lamonte McIntyre, saying that he had committed double homicide.
You know, when I came in, I asked him, you know, was it, what was this for, like drugs? And he said, murder.
Golubski's wrong testimony wasted 24 years of 17-year-old Lamonte's life in prison. This only raised questions of trust in the Kansas
Is that real?
The double homicide.
You know, when I came in, I asked him, you know, was it, what was this for, like drugs? And he said, murder.
Golubski's wrong testimony wasted 24 years of 17-year-old Lamonte's life in prison. This only raised questions of trust in the Kansas Police Department. As heinous as this crime was, this was only the tip of the iceberg. During his 35-year-long police career, Golubski was known as a cop who solved cases quickly thanks to his confidential informants. Most of these informants were women who were sex workers in Kansas City. One of these informants of Golubski was a black woman named Rhonda Tribute. Rhonda's dead body was found in 1998 and her case was still unsolved. Being very close to Golubski, Rhonda's death raised many questions. Although an investigation was initiated, it eventually reached its end without any conclusion. This only confirmed that the whole Kansas Police Department needed a serious restructuring. The good news, however, is that a big investigation into the Kansas Police Department has been started by the FBI, and many questions that were once buried without any serious answers are now being brought up to the surface once again.
Commission, at which point we requested $1.7 million to assist in reviewing Golubski files.
I can rest, one of Golubski's victims said. I can rest knowing he's behind bars. I can sleep. I'm tired of running. The corrupt cop's arrest was also applauded by many civil rights activists throughout the country. This is just the beginning, the director of the Midwest Innocence Project, Tricia Bullnell, commented. A full investigation into the abuses in Wyandotte County and systematic reforms are needed to ensure that no other police officers and public officials can continue to abuse their power. Although Golubski's case is still under process, one thing is for sure, he's not going anywhere. Number 3. The FBI arrests 2 DEA officers for selling drugs. We all know the DEA for its effective and successful operations against narcotics and for working to keep the drugs away from the country as much as possible. However, what happened in Nassau completely shocked everyone. The FBI arrested 2 DEA task force officers, James Hickox and Joshua Ere, in March 2023. Although both officers were arrested due on the same day, they have been committing crimes in their own domains. Sergeant James Hickox was arrested for the possession of drugs with the intent to sell.
What the routinely sold drugs including cocaine, ecstasy, and a substance containing fentanyl.
Whereas Highway Patrol Trooper Joshua Ere had been arrested for the use of narcotics while possessing firearms.
Drugs from an informant. They also say he obtained 43 legal prescriptions for oxycodone, hydrocodone, and a form of morphine.
Despite both Hickox and Ere being arrested on the same day, there's no evidence suggesting that they worked together. The FBI started the investigation into the conduct of James Hickox after a source said that the officer would keep a portion of the confiscated drugs for himself, while mixing the remainder with other powdery substances to keep the weight the same. The amount of money that Hickox was making can be suspected by the fact that the FBI found 3 shoeboxes containing $100,000 in Hickox's bedroom closet, along with $200,000 hidden in his garage. The FBI also found cash deposits worth $86,000 in Hickox, his wife, and his child's bank accounts. When asked where did he get so much money from, Hickox said that he had a gambling problem and that he used to borrow money from
Yo, that's like crazy. Like, he was making bank. And he didn't even have to even go through the rough parts of, like... He didn't even have to lose any money from buying. He literally just made pure profit money. That's actually crazy.
The attached garage at Hickox's home. The complaint says FBI agents found 3 shoeboxes containing about $100,000 of cash in a bedroom closet. The complaint also says Hickox made around $87,000 in cash deposits between January 2020 and October 2022. When investigators asked Hickox about the money, he said he didn't recall where it all came from, saying he had a gambling problem. And
yeah, but you gotta come up with a good lie if you're gonna do that, though. Like, you gotta come up with it, like, I don't know. You have to have a better lie than, I don't know where it came from. It was just
borrowed money from a lot of people.
Yeah.
Despite being recovered a huge amount of cash, the authorities still believe that there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes.
There'll be internal investigations conducted at DEA. There'll be internal investigations conducted at the Nassau County Sheriff's Office. And there'll be also an internal investigation conducted with Florida Highway Patrol.
As of now, Hickox is imprisoned in the Duval County Jail, where he is waiting for an indictment to be filed.
Now, Hickox did waive his right to a detention hearing and will be held in custody until his preliminary hearing on March 23rd.
While Hickox was selling the confiscated drugs, Joshua Airey was busy consuming the narcotics that he found during different traffic stops. But what made Airey's case worse than that of Hickox was that Airey had served as a drug handling agent for quite a long time. As if using confiscated drugs were not enough, he also bought narcotics from various drug traffickers. In other words, Joshua Airey was doing the very thing he was assigned to stop. But it didn't last long enough.
The trooper is facing charges after he was arrested by the FBI.
The FBI got its hands on Airey through a confidential source disguised as a drug seller. Airey never seemed to get enough of drugs. Along with taking confiscated drugs during traffic stops and buying drugs from drug dealers, he had also authorized 43 legal prescriptions for oxycodone. After appearing before a federal judge, Joshua Airey had his bond set at $50,000. He is prohibited to contact any DEA employee and is ordered to undergo mental health and drug addiction treatment. Both Hickox and Airey's corruption had shaken the DEA to its core while raising the question of whether there are more black sheep present in their ranks. Expressing his anger and frustration, Nassau County Sheriff Bill Leeper said, "I believe we must make sure law enforcement officers who break the law are held accountable. I was shocked, disappointed, disgusted, and beyond angry when I heard the allegations." These were some of the shocking times when the cops ran into the FBI. If you found the video informative and entertaining, please subscribe to the channel as I'll be uploading more of such videos.
Wow, that was actually kind of short. Yeah, that's it for the video, I guess. Wow. Alright.
Now it's my time. I gotta make a fall. Them nights that my mama cried. I'm going in, I'm putting everything on the line. Dropped out of school to chase my dream. I had something for the proof. I put my all into this shit, man. I can't fucking lose. They smile up in my face, but they don't know what I've been through.